The crisis shortages are back, friends, and we need to be talking about some of these things. Beef, we got pork out there, we got chicken, we got the eggs, we got dairy under attack. All of these things are under attack right now, and we're seeing the impacts on our stores in real time. I'm going to give you an idea of what's happening right here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I'm going to show you the pictures. You can see it with your own eyes. If you have similar things happening where you are, make sure you let us know what you're seeing. I appreciate the Watchman community letting us know and see what's going on across the horizon, across the United States and in other countries. If you're seeing the same thing, make sure you use the word update. If you're seeing something different, make sure you use the word update. Give us some sort of geographical location as well. Thank you so much. Let's jump right into the pictures. We're going to start over here at Walmart, and the big question I have for you guys is, what does Walmart know that we do not? We're going to see some issues here at Walmart, and we're going to see some warning signs. We need to talk about that, right? Okay, let's start over here in frozen food. Nobody cares if we run out of ice cream, except for Joe Biden, but did see some gaps over here. We're continuing to see those issues in the breakfast frozen section. Of course, there's some eggs involved in that, but that shouldn't really be causing us an issue. Chocolate. Chocolate actually looks like it's fairly well stocked, but we're seeing a lot more strawberry popping up and other alternatives to cocoa, because cocoa is getting really hard to find. Hershey's is in major crisis trying to secure a cocoa supply. They're trying to play all sorts of games in the stock market now, trying to find a supply of cocoa and stick somebody else with it. Anyway, we got other things with tea, a couple gaps here and there. Applesauce continues to have some issues. We're shipping a lot of applesauce in from China, so I'm not sure if that is part of what's going on. Noticed a whole bunch of K-cups missing. Now, that's probably not like the most efficient way of, maybe the plastic is not happening. Maybe they're just not shipping them as well, or it's a supply chain issue. I don't know, but I noticed a lot of K-cups missing. Let me know if you guys are seeing that in your area as well. When it comes to ground coffee, Folgers was a little light there, wasn't it? Generic, light as well, but Maxwell House seems to be fairly well stocked, but we do have some gaps there too, don't we? That's not how Walmart usually runs its tight ship. So are you guys seeing coffee issues where you are? There is a peanut shortage, and we're seeing some inklings of it showing up on the peanut butter shelf here and there. Today, things look good. So that to me looks pretty good. They did shrink the peanut butter section, but I'm seeing generics on the shelf. I'm seeing that basically you can get what you want of that. So let me know if you guys are continuing to see issues with peanut butter and with the availability of peanuts. What probably will happen is that will be an issue later in the year. But for now, this close to the harvest, we should still see enough. Obviously, mayo is made up of eggs as well as other things. So is it really that much of a surprise that we're having some issues in mayo? Maybe not. And of course, a lot of these salad dressings use mayo. So is it a surprise that we're having issues with salad dressings? There's always these ripple effects, but even the oil and vinegar type salad dressings seem to be having issues. Notice it's mostly the generics that are being wiped out. And I really think that is people pivoting to the generics in order to save money. People are changing their spending habits because things are so stinking expensive. All right, vinegar, low, especially the apple cider vinegar. Rice, low. That's not good, especially the GV brand. No 20-pounders. Back there in the back is not a 20-pounder. Ketchup. Ooh, look at that. I'm not sure how much of these things are trucks just not coming through, certain supply warehouses being impacted. I'm not sure what's going on, but I'm hearing a lot of stuff from you guys too. You're saying that you're seeing pretty big gaps across your stores as well. Before we dive in a little further, we do want to thank our sponsor, Genesis Gold Group. Some of you guys don't want to click the form and you don't want to fill out information and have them contact you. You want to contact them. So here's their phone number. If you do reach out to them, make sure you mention this channel so they do waive the setup fee for you. But they love to talk to you, love to answer your questions. If you want to ask them for an information packet They'll send you information on what a gold IRA looks like, or why you'd want to be in gold or why you'd want to be in silver. Just ask them for some of that information, and they'd love to educate you if you're serious about moving forward with something like that with your investment account. All right, moving on here to pasta. Generic pasta looking pretty good, but name brand pasta not so good. Not really sure why that is. I don't really have an explanation for that, but we do see a bunch of gaps in the name brand section. Now, I've since learned a little bit of why this is. Obviously, there's not much chicken broth or broth, and there's absolutely no GV brand broth. There is a recall. We talked about that yesterday on chicken broth, GV brand. So apparently I'm in the area where it's impacting. So chicken broth is going to be a little bit scarce, and just broth in general. We've been having issues with beef broth. So if you need broth and you want to get it from the store and you're not going to make your own, make sure you grab it when you see it, okay? That's going to be lasting for just the next little bit. All right. Walmart has a history of having a crystal ball. When something bad's about to happen, they start rolling out these pallets. They have pallets upon pallets upon pallets of ramen noodles that they don't usually put out unless there's a storm coming or unless there's some sort of issue going on. When people start freaking out, I've said, this is the barometer, people reach out and grab some ramen. So when Walmart starts sticking pallets of ramen out in the aisles, they're saying that they anticipate people are about to panic. And in order to keep you from wiping out salad dressings on the shelf and hoarding as many salad dressings as you can, they want to put out what you'd rather panic buy, which is ramen noodles. So they put them out on the pallets, and then they kind of jack up the price a little bit, I think. Anyway, we got seed oils low, olive oils not looking too bad. I'm still waiting for the olive oil prices to come down and the availability to go up. Like I said, that's going to be happening in the next couple weeks. That's the projections of when we're going to see the good effects from the good harvest that they had this fall over in Spain and Italy. Tuna fish. That looks pretty good to me. Meat section. Like I said, they want you to buy the cheap ramen noodles. They don't want you buying canned meats. This is a nice little section here. They have expanded their GV luncheon meat to kind of imitate Spam. So you have your bacon. They've had that for a little bit, but you got your low sodium, light, you get your original, and you have your chicken now. So that's an increased optionality right there. However, if you're looking at the generic luncheon meat, regular, know that I think Aldi has it for like $1.80, their generic version. So definitely good. Canned hams are definitely a good thing to get stocked up on. The cheapest animal protein to get stocked up on are Vienna sausages. That's definitely a way to go. And if you go with the GV brand, 76 cents a can. Or sometimes you can get a slightly lower if you buy the giant bulk packs, and then you're getting a name brand too. But only if you like those kinds of things. If you want to get just real hearty, regular kind of meats, ground beef, pork are cheaper than the shredded beef, which is also available with the Keystone. That's kind of the way to go with canned meats, right? Freeze-dried beef is a great way to go too. You can either get the freeze-dried beef crumbles from like Mountain House or something like that. If you want the big beef like steak, I recommend Prepper beef or Poplar beef is a link through there. That's a good one to have. I always have that down in the description down below. Anyway, mashed potatoes looking a little more sparse than usual, but not terribly so. A lot less beans on the shelves, but I don't think people are used to stocking up on beans. So I think that's just more of a restocking issue. People are reaching out and grabbing the canned pasta. They do seem to like that almost as much as the ramen noodles these days, which is not a bad idea. I really like these things as kind of like MREs. You take a can of Chef Boyardee or the generic version of that, throw it on your shelf. If you need to have a meal to go, or in your car or something like that, you can just pop open that can, stick a fork in there, and just start spooning it out and eat it straight out of the can. You don't need to warm it up. It tastes better if you warm it up, but you don't need to. Distilled water continues to be an issue out there, but looking not too bad here in Pittsburgh. Eggs, of course, issues across the board, availability and prices. Prices here, $4.53. Stores are very sensitive to the fact that people are very sensitive to the price increases right now. So they are doing their best, I think, to keep the prices down. When you see a massive spike, it's because the store lost their contract and they have to buy it at higher rates, and so they have to pass that along. So just see if you can find a different store that's still getting eggs at under an old contract, because they're trying to keep the prices down over there. But if they're the only store in the area that has the lower prices, they're going to get wiped out real fast. You need to get there early in the morning if you want to get a good bargain. With big price fluctuations, there will be pricing inefficiencies. There's opportunities. Okay, so shop around and you can save a lot more money now that the prices are moving a lot. When the prices are pretty steady, everyone kind of gets on the same page and charges the same amount. That's kind of what happens. Milk availability is down. A lot of you guys complaining about that over there. These egg products, baking goods, these are looking super well stocked, surprisingly well stocked. Other dairy products, cottage cheese, sour creams, not looking so good here. Let me know if you guys are seeing the same kind of thing where you are. Butter looking pretty good. Fake butter looking okay. Jugs of tea, I don't know, maybe people are just having a party during the snowstorm. Half and half whipping cream, not looking great. And coffee creamers looking worse than usual. All right, let's keep going. We got vegetables, frozen vegetables looking really picked over here in Pittsburgh. Potatoes, frozen potatoes looking good. And we actually had a decent harvest last year, so potatoes shouldn't be too much of an issue. We have been watching that over the past years. Frozen pizzas seem to be a go-to. Hop over to Aldi real fast. We got a couple pictures here. Fresh produce at Aldi not looking good. You can see that, a bunch of empty spots where there should be produce. Just gap. I'm not sure if Aldi's just having issues with their supply chain. Eggs, $4.53, surprisingly the exact same scent as Walmart nearby. Orange juice continues to be issued. Applesauce looking a little bit better over here than what it did last week. Peanut butter still looking pretty good at Aldi. Not seeing issues there. Salt, gone. No salt. We have been seeing surprising issues with salt. Salt over at Walmart seemed to be fairly well stocked, so I didn't grab a picture of it. Some of the cake mixes and baking goods seem to be having some gaps here or there. Chicken stock, beef broth, actually in stock. So if you can't find it at Walmart, you might want to head over to Aldi because they do seem to be stocked pretty well, at least for now. A few gaps here and there. And then other canned goods seem to be a little bit fronted, not as robust of a storage as they usually are, which is giving me some idea that maybe Aldi is struggling a little bit with their supply chain with the winter storms and all that. Some of the fresh meats, processed meats, not looking so great. And we'll get over to the fresh meats in a second. Butters, cream cheese, little point here and there. Most of those are discounted, sale kind of items, but also having issues with cottage cheese over here. Fresh meats and packaged meats, not super well stocked there. Some gaps here and there. Again, maybe they're just not getting the trucks in like they ought to. So the quick turnaround items seem to be the hardest hit. Let me know what you guys are seeing where you are. Are you seeing the same kind of things, seeing something different? Make sure you use the word update and give us some sort of geographical location. Thanks so much for watching. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report, out.